Booyah! What's good? We're up. We're live. Oh, we got a fresh crack. We're back. Took a little vacation. Your boy hit the mountains up. Got some cool mountain air in his life. Had to take. But hey, we're back. We're ready. We're ready to roll. Season August is going to be a banger, and we are then going to be right into the season. And then I would say no more days off, but your boy's got a day off at the end of September. Gonna miss a week of football, unfortunately.
Whoa.
A week of football?
Yeah, a weekend of football. But
where you going?
Me and the missus are going to a music festival in Kentucky.
Snuck up to the mountains, got a little taste of what early retirement life might be like.
Golly. Summering and 65-degree, no humidity is just chef's kiss. It's real nice. Then today was a blisterer out there. Had to change my underwear midday.
Whoa.
Not because I pooped. What's up, boys? Good to see you in the chat. Good to be back. I'm excited. How we feeling, boys?
Oh, well, my nickname today is Professor Mudbutt, so you might want to ask BigCo.
Well, you're on this side of the dirt, though, so that's good. BigCo, how you doing? BigCo's semi-retired, so that's
Attaboy. It
was a hot and sweaty day today, and I didn't have to go work in it. That was very, very nice.
Yeah. Yep. This ended my run of like a week and a half of not having to work in it, and it was brutal. Yesterday, I just tried to walk outside for 10 minutes at a time to reacclimate, but Charleston, South Carolina.
Walk outside for 10 minutes to reacclimate.
just keep going in and out. Just because
sure.
I've been in AC or mountain air for a while.
That's right.
We're at the beach, boy.
Yeah, you got to get back into it.
So, obviously,
I just got out of it.
We got some training camp stuff going down. Lots to talk about here, and we've got questions. I know some of y'all asked some questions last week, and we didn't go live. Like I said, Dad took the day off, so we didn't quite make it on air. But we're back. We're going to answer all the paid questions that we have, but we're going to start off with some training camp chit chat. And shout out to all the crowdsource people and the people using the ffdynasty.com. 905,000 swipes currently, so hopefully we can get over 1 million before this season starts. We're trying to get the redraft in there. Ran into a few snags, but hopefully soon you'll be able to swipe on some redraft. You can see it up there at the top, but we're edging closer and closer to being able to do that, and we're working on ADP for that. So join the free Discord if you want to hop in. Redraft mocks, because we've just kicked them off. We're going to do some fast ones. We're going to do slow ones. We're always going to have something rolling. So make sure you check that out. And if you are in the $7, $15, $25 Discord, please join those and roll with us. So kind of jumping into it here. Where do you guys want to start? What's been the most interesting bit of camp hype, news, hate that you guys have kind of seen today? Is Malik Neighbors was out there running around looking good. There was a Brazel injury, Pearsall knee injury, but Stribling shining. Where do y'all want to go?
You could have just stopped with Malik Neighbors. We could start there. We could stay there. We can remain there. So no pup for Malik Neighbors. We're out there running routes. No restrictions.
Let's go.
Listen, we talked about the beginning of the season. There's a generational buying opportunity for guys like CeeDee Lamb, Patrick Mahomes, and Justin Jefferson. And now it looks like there was a generational buying opportunity on Malik Neighbors. If you could just have the intertesticular fortitude to say, hey, yeah, I'll send the first and the second for Malik Neighbors, he could be had. I pulled that off in the league. I was thrilled about it. I almost called my doctor because I was suffering from priapism, if you know what that is. But yeah, I'm curious to you guys' thoughts. You
got Neighbors. Wait a minute. You got Neighbors for a 1 and a 2?
Yes.
Current, like in the draft, early first on the clock, or next year's first?
Like a 27 first and a 27 second.
That's way too cheap.
I know. I'm pretty excited about it too.
You should shut the curtains because the boys are looking for you.
Yeah. No.
Well, there was been, you know, me and BigCo, we probably spent 40 minutes alone on an episode just talking about Malik Neighbors, just about, and what we would trade for him, and basically that there is a generational buying opportunity, and that he's probably going to be just fine. Now, hopefully in 7 days he doesn't tweak something and he's sitting out and he does end up on PUP, right? You know, that's not, we're not out of the woods yet, so we don't want to go crazy celebration, but this is generally, you know, in 2026, like it's the overreaction to every single thing that can help you pay dividends, especially if you get into the echo chamber of the internet. Even in, like, you know, no shade to anybody in the comments, but there's been plenty of in our comments, just in live shows, and what Neighbors is cooked, and it's like, well, everybody's always cooked whenever anything happens, or they have a bad stretch, or they don't start their career off awesome. You know, it's just like, I don't know, could we relax a little? But you know, Malik Neighbors did look good out there. I think BigCo and I both agreed that there was, you know, buying opportunity here, and we were pretty excited to do so. I know, like I said, BigCo was very bullish on the fact of wanting to buy Malik Neighbors. So,
dude, I mean, we can't overreact to, it's like, we can't overreact to the new, hey man, it's not, he had a second procedure. We can't overreact to those things because it's Dynasty. He's still 23 years old now at this point, and we've gotten upgrades everywhere except offensive coordinator for Malik Neighbors, and he's going to be great for Jackson Dart. And Jackson Dart needs someone like that to make it an easy button style offense. They added Isaiah Likely. There's a very strong likelihood that this runs through 150, 160 targets for Malik Neighbors if he's fully healthy, and another 110 for Isaiah Likely, and 60 to 70 for Cam Scatterbo. This could be a really concentrated offense. You know, they've invested in the offensive line. They've done all the things, but hire a good play caller.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Nagy had a little bit of success here and there, but he's been, you know, definitely the butt of some jokes. Roman is usually somebody who, you know, has ties to Harbaugh, who has an okay stretch for a little while, but never is somebody who's going to elevate the offense to the high. Like, I've always referred to him as like a training wheels part. He can get the offense going in the right direction, but he's not going to be the one that teaches you how to ride the actual bike. And, you know, he's certainly not going to get you doing any cool tricks. You know,
he'll teach you how to run the football next to the bike, but he won't actually put you on the bike and run it.
All right, BigCo, and any thoughts on Neighbors before we move on here?
No, dip bought.
Jeremiah, I see your question in there. I appreciate you. I will absolutely jump over there for sure here in just a second. But is there any other, before we jump over to Jeremiah's question, Jeremiah's question, is there any other things that you want to absolutely hit real quick off the top that has really stuck out to you guys, or has been something that's you know, negatively or positively stuck out to you guys?
I mean, you hit Stribling. You hit Stribling pretty quick. We could spend a couple seconds there. I wouldn't mind that. I mean,
well, you know, I've been vocal on, like, hey, I think Pearsall, if healthy, could be a big part of this offense and be Kyle's number one. We've kind of all alluded to that moving, not this year, but in the future of the 49ers. And I think that's kind of what they were hoping and believing in. Now we're having some, you know, it is basically August at this point, but if you're having some knee swelling already, that's, you know, this is already somebody who's been, for one reason or another, through his fault or not, had problems of staying on the field, and now we're seeing it again. I'm not gonna lie, like that definitely, my knees are a little shaky. I got hit, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I need to duck and move for a minute. I don't know if I need to be trying to swing on anybody right now. I gotta get my legs back under me first. So, but the Stribling part of it has been awesome. Like, you know, I saw, the only negative comment I saw was from Dez, and then I saw multiple people being like, that's not how they run their receivers, and that's not how they line up, because they have tighter formations and do different things. So
like Dez is some route running aficionado,
right?
All right,
but Stribling has looked very, you know, at times in certain clips, and it is what's clip season.
No, stop with the caveats, bro. All right, let me do it.
Since you're a 49ers different gear, I will say that. Since
you're a 49ers fan and you want to temper the expectations, here's the thing from we'll read. Can we do 32 beat writers? Can
Sure,
we talk about it?
Absolutely.
So this is from Grant Cohn. He said he caught
Oh,
5
not him
passes.
though. Not him though.
This is how you know this is so he did something cool because Grant Cohn he covers the team, but he's a noted 49ers hater. I don't know if he's a Seahawks fan. Like he's just one of the most annoying people. And this is me.
He's a troll. He makes money off being a troll, and somehow he gets away with it. It's ridiculous.
So I'm going to run through this real quick. Caught 5 passes from 4 different quarterbacks, including a leaping grab over the middle on a high pass from Adrian Martinez. Dribbling isn't Brandon Ayuk or Ricky Pearsall when it comes to route running, but the 49ers are finding ways to scheme him open and get him the ball on screens, slants, and digs. Expect him to have a highly productive rookie season, even if he's not the number 1 receiver on the team.
Yeah, I mean, look, we came in and we at first I didn't love the Stribling pick because it's like I think nobody in the draft was sitting there except for maybe some people in some front offices was sitting there going like, yeah, Stribling. You did see a little bit of echoes like, hey, Stribling's going to be one of these guys that everybody isn't really talking about that goes pretty high, and he ends up going really high. And at first you're like, damn, why'd you do that? There's some other guy I would have loved this or this fit was good there, and then it's like, well, now that all the chips have settled and everything is kind of like when you go back and watch, one tape, he did one thing. And when you go watch the other tape, he did another thing. So it was like, there's multiple dimensions of, hey, I can crush in the middle of the field. I can crush going down the field at Ole Miss. He's a very put together, well-spoken young man. He's big, he's fast, he's physical. And it's just, it's something that you're like, hey, well, it may not be this year, but that's how quickly these things change. And he may just have to sit and wait his turn, and you might see him and that still may be the case. Maybe Ricky Pearsall comes in here and plays, almost the full season, and this knee thing kind of goes away, and Christian Kirk comes out there and plays a reasonable amount. But, right now he's getting huge opportunity. And the other 2 guys I just mentioned are 2 guys who haven't put together a full season in God knows when, at least since Ricky's been in the league, or Christian Kirk. I can't tell you the last time that he played, all 17 games, right? So it seems like the opportunity is going to knock early and often, and he's cashing in on it right now, and it's awesome.
I mean, he's got
it looks awesome anyway.
Yeah, he's got the 3 Fs: fundamental, fast, and physical. Like let's lock that in. Nothing. Damn, I thought that was a good one.
No, I was drinking.
That was a good one. You right in the middle of that. I was like, oh, how many times did I draft this man in my rookie drafts? We got a ton of Strib in the FFBC early rookie drafts, thanks to Casey. And I was not up on my Strib, and we were on the clock at 2-3. This is in May. This is in early May. This is in May in FFBC rookie, and I wasn't up on my Strib. And we were at 2-3 on the clock, and Casey was like, I think we got to look at Strib here. And I was like, right now? And, there's a bunch of drafts going on, so we had to rock and roll. But within the next week or 3, I caught up on my Strib tape, and I was like, oh, my God, I'm about to get this guy everywhere. Like, there's still people on Sleeper, people sleeping.
Yeah.
I got him at 210 in a draft. With you the other day. It's a $50 league. It's not the it's not a $500.
Talking about the Colts
Blackwater. League, yeah. I think I just got him at 210. I had to give up a 2028 second round pick to trade in to get him because I couldn't believe he was still on the board. And the only reason I waited that long to start trading is because I got him at like 2-3, 2-4, 2-5, and a whole bunch of sleeper rookie drafts already. And so yes, Casey, I'm riding passenger seat in the Strib train.
Yeah, he's been somebody who, especially if you're not especially if you're drafting on Sleeper, right? The ADP for a while at least, you had to type him in, and he was way down there, so it was very advantageous. So people would just forget because it already wasn't a household name.
Still
and
is.
Then you're going through it, and then like he's not anywhere near those top ranked players, and it is what it is. You're going in the rookie draft, you're trading, you're doing things, and you could forget.
Well, I know we probably need to move on, but let me get 30 seconds here. Nobody's going to go out. Most likely there are some film guys out there in the sleeper streets, but most people aren't going to go watch Strib's individual games. If you watch Strib's highlight tape, you will get the action that Casey, was alluding to. You will see him work short, intermediate, and deep and look good doing all of it. You'll see him break a tackle 10 yards from the line of scrimmage and then outrun everybody else to the house. And you'd be like, yes,
Right.
absolutely. Put that guy on my team. So I recommend checking out a highlight tape. I do say that his highlight tape is like 15 minutes long because man was making highlights. I think it takes, it's over 2 seasons. But anyway, give it 3 minutes. Just turn it on for a second if you don't know what's going on. If you still got a rookie draft, so you can figure out how high to take him in the second round.
Yeah, well, you can, obviously at Ole Miss they used him, kind of stretching the field a little bit more, but at Oklahoma State they were using him a little, there's a little bit more of like, hey, this is what 49ers a couple of years ago did with guys like Debo. I'm not comparing him to Debo, but like,
well, there's a little bit more of this is
right. We got a big physical guy here, and like,
exactly.
But the last thing that everybody saw from him was not necessarily like this route running middle of the field prowess. So you do have to go back a little bit, but I do really like
the Oklahoma State tape was like, this is by far the best player on our team, and we're going to get this guy the ball as often as possible.
Right. Well, before we hit on Jeremiah here, who was kind enough to throw some cashish in here, appreciate you. And I hit you up on the Discord. I don't think I ever heard back from you. But before we move off for the Niners here, and maybe we could double back on Pearsall at some point, and you guys could tell me how worried you are about him. But Jordan James broken rib here. Got to be pretty excited for any Black ownership right here, right?
It's crazy. It's a crazy way to phrase that.
That wasn't a bad way to phrase
that. Yeah, Kalen Black is what.
Kalen Black ownership. Yeah.
Way to fumble that. Way to fumble that, Casey.
I tweeted out when I saw the Jordan James rib injury. I said, "This is."
But hey, shout out to Black ownership.
Yeah.
Let's get some better small business loans for the community.
Hey, we're for the people.
That's right.
Listen, this is his time. This is his chance. This is his chance to earn his 12% target share or 12% backfield share, snap share behind CMC. As long as Christian McCaffrey's healthy, we're just whoever you're competing for 60 to 70 carries and 12 targets on the season. Yeah. Just, I don't know. I don't know.
Jordan James was having a good camp and he got hurt late, but now Jordan James gets hurt early. So if Black comes out here and shows, like, oh shit, we can't put this back in the bottle. I don't think James can get back in the good graces if Black just kind of, and a broken rib is going to be, that's a tough thing to be out there,
trying to work through.
It. Right.
Yeah. I mean, was Kalen Black not the second running back taken off the board
in the actual NFL draft? Yeah.
In the actual NFL draft. Yeah. So you have if you're a draft capital snob, you can get all worked up in your downstairs mix up about that. I don't know. I think that this is the time.
Yeah.
He is 1,000% going to end up being the backup running back. They talked about how they liked him in pass protection. Now, we just saw that go really poorly with a guy who everyone touted as one of the best pass protectors ever. Yes. So we can't put too much stock in that. Just hopefully he gets that part figured out so he can actually get some meaningful snaps and we can feel better about.
Right. Early indication though was a lot of hype for Black, but James had the role. At two. So which was kind of to be expected because they did really like him. So
third running back after Jadarian Price.
Third, yeah.
Crispy hit us up in the chat real quick on that. He was fast.
Good correction.
But yeah, so Kalen Black has been very.
I think we just forget about Love because he was at 5, or whatever.
Who's that? Oh yeah.
Jeremiah Love. Sure. We're just like
because he was out there with the quarterbacks where they normally get drafted.
Right.
Yeah. I said the second running back off the board, did I not?
You said his second up, but Jadarian Price was second.
Price. Oh God.
You pretend like Price isn't even around.
I do. I choose not to participate because that is a Venus flytrap of fucking fantasy points, and I will not be sucked into the damn Seattle Seahawks vortex of bullshit for 2026. I'm not falling for it.
let me tell you the one quick, easy way to get past some of that. I highly respect the head coach, McDonald. I think we all were like, damn. Obviously, they overachieved last year, but wasn't a complete accident, right? We all saw that turnaround coming. We just didn't think the offense was going to be able to carry that much weight. We knew the defense was going to be top 3. I don't think with a head coach that smart, that new age,
Calculated.
top end, right? I don't think I don't think a head coach that forward thinking. Not to say the GM hasn't had a good run and probably pulls a ton of weight, but I don't think that coach. I don't think they're taking a running back at the end of the first round and not using him. I can't. I could see it happen in plenty of teams. I can't see it happen in there.
Yeah, and guess what? He was catching passes today, so I mean, he can.
He has hands.
He does. Yes, I'd like to say he does have hands.
All right, been talking about running backs that have hands for 10 years.
Price over the shoulder today was nasty.
We did see that. We did see that.
All right, let's throw Jeremiah's question up on the board here. Keeper question. Keep 3.
Kraft into 12th, Scat in the 8th, Kyron into 10th, Rice in the 4th. 10-team keeper league, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end. Kraft into 12th seems pretty obvious.
Is it PPR, half point PPR, full point PPR, tight end premium? Is it?
Yeah, Jeremiah hit that. He hit us up on. He said something about not being great in Discord, so he was here just a second ago to give us a little bit more. But let's just assume it's PPR. Scat in the 8th, I think that's pretty easy too. So that's 2 of them. Got to keep 3. Kraft into 12th is got to do that.
I think I'd keep Kraft, Scat, and Kyron.
That's
Kyron into 10th. Yeah, for sure.
That's where I landed.
Yeah.
If it keep 3, yeah. Kyron, Scat, Kraft.
You can redraft Rice, and he's already going to be what? I have the 10 spot, so Rice would be first pick in the 4th. Okay. Yeah. Not tight end premium. So if it's not tight end premium, do you want it? Would you rather have Rashi, or do you still stick? You got to go with Kraft that late, right? I mean, where's Kraft
that late is?
Where's Kraft going generally?
It's not that you don't want Rice. It's that you could draft another player with that draft pick, and you get Tucker Kraft in the 12th round, even with no premium. He's still top 5 tight end.
Yeah, I mean, he was a tight end 2 before he got hurt. So, like, this is you keep really good players. Kyron's basically a 4th round pick. Scat's 5, 5'6", and then Tucker Kraft is 6'7". I apologize.
I just so happen to have a
for this
mock.
Podcasters. He definitely did the 6'7" dance.
I just happen to have a mock here that we're doing right now, and Tucker Kraft is at 6'9" and a 12 man.
Yeah. So.
Yes, the 6 free rounds. I mean, it's not that like basically like Chev. You start from the back and taking the best players at the latest rounds possible.
I usually like to warm up a little first and then go to the back.
Get a little. I like to get a little warmed up before I get back there. But if you're gonna get right to it, then no.
I just have to be on the clock. So
yeah,
go ahead, Chev.
I just think, for me, I think there's just too much value in. So where is Scat Pack in this? The 5th round? Yeah, or 4th round?
4 or 5 here, but I mean, yeah, we could call it. And if we look,
I fucking did it. Oh, okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is a mock that we're doing right now. Casey's gonna show us his queue, guys, and I'm gonna start sniping the shit.
I don't have any guys in the queue. I don't know what this is my first redraft mock. I ain't even gonna front. Yeah.
But I mean, 4 rounds of value, if we're just basing it on this, 4 rounds of value on Scat Pack, a round of value on Rashee Rice, 6 rounds of value on Tucker Kraft. I just Kyron. Oh yeah, Kyron went in the third in this one because I took Kyron in the third because I still believe like an
Right,
idiot.
but we just talked about Kyron the other day, and I just so happened to have like a consensus ADP from him, not from us yet, but from another website. 3.5. So he's at basically right where you took him, and Scat's at 4.5, right where you took him. In the consensus, ESPN, Sleeper, and Yahoo or something else with a bunch of drafts all combined. So that's right around on value. And I think where you're going there with it, Chev, is kind of right on time of just like the value that you're getting off of all those other players is like you could just redraft Rice, right? If you want. Now, it's a keeper league, so the pool will be depleted, and it'll be where Rice goes won't be the fourth at this point, right? Because there's going to be keepers, but you essentially are, and Rice is not like Rice's value is so good, right? Like if Rice didn't get hurt, if Rice didn't have suspensions, he'd probably be damn near a first round redraft pick. So then you'd be like, oh yes, of course you're keeping Rice. But right now the value is a little depressed on him. So I think we got it. I think it's Kraft, Scattaboo, Kyron, right?
Yeah.
And
if you really want Rice back, just take him in the third round
or the second.
Yeah. I mean,
it could even be the first round pick because, like I said, there's gonna be a bunch of depletion going on when you start. So there's the first 10 guys are not going to be the first 10 guys that we see on this mock right here.
Yeah,
right.
Like all those guys are probably kept almost
right, exactly. So, all right. Well, I am on the clock. This is my team here. I got Bijan, Brees, AJ Brown, Bucky, Terry McLaurin, Fanning Jr. I took Tyson. I didn't love my choices at that 7-1 spot. Where would you go here, Chev? What's your thoughts?
Let me see let me zoom in here a little bit. Oh, there we go.
Is it too early?
Get action.
Is it too early for me to take Wandale?
It feels a little early for the old Wandale.
I don't know. This is my first...
just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Little redraft mock for your pleasure here. A little bonus content.
Yeah.
I don't love any of the running backs here.
Nope, not in love with it.
And I'm okay there already. I already have 3. I feel okay about that. Jacoby Myers, I'd rather have Wandale, I think. Jaden Reed, Matthew Golden. I get to pop 2 off here.
Monungai.
Pop it off. Not a tight end. You just took Harold Fannin.
Yeah.
Almost certainly not a tight end.
BigCo, you like Monungai here?
What's the quarterback situation?
You got to take Monungai if you get a chance.
I got a chance right now. I could.
Well, it's too much upside to leave him on the table.
I got Herbert, Mahomes, Brock.
I feel like you can. I feel like there's a pretty thick tier there that you're good with.
All right. Well, I'm taking Wandale.
Wowzers.
Suck it.
Wowzers.
I just feel like there's just some.
Well, if you're gonna do that,
who could be awesome, but
if you're gonna do that, just take Michael Pittman.
I could take Michael Pittman.
Yeah, I would take Pittman over Wandale.
You would take. Everyone's taking Pittman over Wandale.
Yeah, I mean, I hate.
I got Michael both Pittman. Of them, so
yeah, I absolutely hate Michael Pittman, and I said
definitely should have taken.
You like Monungai there?
Monungai. Yeah, I do.
Monungus.
But I don't like looking for wide receiver a whole lot later anyway, so I don't mind that double tap you got there.
Yeah, I mean, Monungai, Gainwell, Aaron Jones. So we're just getting into the redraft streets. Like I said, this is actually really. I mean, I've done a decent amount of best balls, but like this is my first redraft slow mock that we're doing. We're gonna have fast mocks. Join the Discord. We're gonna have slow mocks. Keep it rolling. We'll have ADP for your pleasure here coming soon. Anything you want to talk about before we get off this screen here, boys?
I've been having some aggressive visions about Rashid Shaheed.
You're back on your Shaheed shit, huh?
Yeah. I was never off. The Seahawks almost forced me off. They're like, "Sir, this ship is sinking and you're going to die if you don't get on the life raft." And I was like, "Nah. Loving Shaheed is wrong. I don't want to be right."
That's right. I think I'm the only one without a quarterback. Dougie doesn't have a quarterback. Nah, there's a couple.
Well, I autoed the quarterback. I didn't mean to take old Jackson Dart. The soaking assassin himself.
All right. Well, here's a good. We'll get back to some camp news here, and then there is a couple other questions we could answer real quick in there, and we do have questions on the site. But Alec Pierce at 8-9, and I just was on the clock in a best ball, and I could look it up where I actually took him. But how are we feeling about Alec Pierce right now? If we go back to kind of the camp hype stuff, they're saying, hey, maybe 1 or 2 more weeks before we see him. He's dealing with some potential discomfort there, maybe. And then, maybe a little bit of, Ballard has said, hey, maybe at some point we need to, in a week or two, maybe we need to assess what veterans are out there. In Diggs or Debo or, Keenan Allen, or I'm not putting any of those names in his mouth, but there was part of a quote where he was talking about potentially perusing the veteran aisle. So how are we feeling about Alec Pierce and the Colts? Daniel Jones cleared, JT having a hold in of sorts.
We just need him to get. I mean, how pumped up is he? Like, is it just we need we need to get through? Yeah, we just need to figure out what type of pup this is.
Just a tiny amount of pup. Just a teeny
that's what I'm saying. Like,
piece of pup.
Are we talking weeks in the camp pup, or are we talking, hey, we just need you? We're gonna start you here, and then as soon as you can pass the physical, you come off the pup.
Right. Here's the thing. This, especially right now, like redraft. If you got to draft anytime soon, redraft, best ball, whatever, you could dodge these guys. But like Dynasty, Alec Pierce right now, if he's on the pup and there's a lot of pup, that's a great buying opportunity. He got relatively expensive for his price really quickly. And I'd love any kind of newfound buying window to get more Alec Pierce. So whether that's through startups this year where he falls a little bit because he's on the pup, he has a little PUP beside his name, or in an existing league where, somebody wants to start hot and they want to trade, if he's hurt, he got an ankle problem, whatever, like bandit redraft, maybe actually knock him down and let it count.
All right.
The old say, you don't draft hurt players, right? But in Dynasty,
but you're fine with neighbors right now though. In redraft,
like I've got 25 underdogs under my belt at this point, or at least past where neighbors is drafted. I don't have one neighbors on underdog yet.
The value was so good, I just kept clicking them. I get it.
I get it.
I was like that's if it doesn't go my way, I lost $10. If it goes my way, maybe I won $1 million.
For sure. But in the right. But in the last like 2 weeks, where he was he started to potentially creep in the 4th round now, but like in the middle of the 3rd, it's like you're not getting another Malik Neighbors there. You're right. You're not wrong. You're right. But like if he does not play the first 4, 5, 6 weeks, I've been all along like if after that second surgery, it's like, what are we doing here? This man is an absolute monster. If outside of the quarterback, he's the most, you could say do new defensive linemen, edge rushers, but like Malik Neighbors is the second most, important player on the Giants. Right? So like shit, like why are we rushing this guy? Maybe nobody around there thinks that's rushing, but all of a sudden he went from things are a problem and he can barely jog to first base on a celebrity softball game, and now he might play week 1. Yada yada. Every Twitter doctor and their brother was like, "This guy's missing half the season."
This is why you can't. Again, this is one of the downsides of the 24-hour news cycle.
Yeah.
Because, okay, was Malik Neighbors running this shit? Like, was he running the first base like his life depended on it, or was he just kind of trotting around, fucking around, like not taking it very serious, not caring if everybody on the internet was going to overreact to it.
Right.
And
it's a gimpy looking jog. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure you saw it. Like it was not a slow jog. It was a gimpy looking jog. It was like something ain't right jog. But now there's clips out there from him. Today he looks really, really good.
And that's what matters. I could care less what he looks like jogging around a base in April or May. I will right now. Die on that hill. Like I'm not going to overreact about. See, people were freaking out about to jump subjects. Well, let's tie it back to what we were talking about originally. Alec Pierce. how scared am I about Alec Pierce? Not that scared. If we get to pads coming on and joint practices and stuff, and Alec Pierce still isn't practicing, then I'll freak out. The Colts knew that he was going to have a procedure in the offseason. They knew that he was going to be in a walking boot during OTAs and minicamp. And this seems like it's all part of the plan. It's not like, oh, this is unexpected. So that's why I said, how pumped up are you? Are you just weeks away from being able to contribute, or is it just you need to pass you need to pass the physical and the conditioning test to be allowed to practice?
Are you going to step out on the field and have a setback? Are you going to, that's really the, really the only once we pass a little bit of time of him being on the field, I'm cool with it. But
yeah, and I mean, like, they're still, if I'm not mistaken, they reported a few days ago, so they're just now getting through the ramp up period to where they can go and put pads on and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, we have to condition ourselves. You guys do a tremendous job of being a thermostat, not a thermometer. And we have to continue to condition ourselves to not freak out about news in May, in April. And and when football is months away from being played, I don't care what somebody looks like. There's a picture of Tua looking fat on a boat, on a yacht during the off season. Like,
he does have back problems right now.
Hey.
Yeah, well, let's wait.
You know what I'm saying? But the point in all that being, I'm not gonna react to not football stuff in negatively impacting someone.
Yeah.
I won't do it.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. In other news, Treylon Burks making plays.
Hey, what is this? Is this you're not fooling me again?
Treylon Burks is probably still on several teams, just chilling.
Oh yeah, at the end of the bench, I can't quit him.
Just chilling. All right. I want to jump over to the questions here. I had a couple more things on the list here if anybody wants to take anything. I mean, the Brazel injury is even better for Coker, right? Not that I thought he was really going to do anything, but I think I like Coker a lot. I thought he was great at the end of last year. I love what we're seeing. So that's great. We'll see what happens there. Browns QB battle. Yeah, I think Deshaun's probably going to win that one. And would we be shocked if Deshaun comes out here and is okay? Just mediocre, right? But better than he's been. Like all that just weight and stink is kind of off of him. This offense seems to be something that would be more in the wheelhouse of how he wants to operate than what Stefanski brings to the table, right? So I find that I just feel like it's going to be an easier fit and transition, and they're going to want to see if they can get anything out of Watson with this person they made all the investments. So he's probably going to have a little bit longer of a leash, right? So
yeah, it's either that or he won't be on the team because this is the last year that they have.
Right.
Him.
Right.
I don't know how that goes if he's not named the starter.
Yeah. You had a little JJ Kyler Murray dust up. I like that. Love that. I love them boys are getting in.
School me. What happened?
I just saw.
Did they shove each other?
Yeah, they were shoving out there.
No, they did not.
Kyler might have thrown a pick or something, and I don't know if JJ was barking from the. I don't exactly know what happened, but I saw a clip right before we got on here that them boys
AI.
were
was AI. Somebody got you.
Maybe they did,
really
but
happen.
I saw
that didn't really happen.
Saw a dust up.
That would be like the perfect first fake camp battle AI thing to do. Is those two guys get mad at each other?
Can you describe the ruckus, sir?
It wasn't like a ruckus. They were just kind of.
Sorry, that was a Breakfast Club reference.
Did
barking?
Did one of them poke the other one through the face mask?
Yeah, he put his.
Yeah,
like Captain Insano.
All right, last one though. Because I just feel like it's everywhere right now. And Marvin Harrison, right? Every single person is making money right now off of hating on Marvin Harrison. So is this something that, and and I'm not trying to defend Marv by any stretch of the imagination, right? Who's the better guy to have in Dynasty, Stribling or Stribling is way more valuable than Black. I just saw that one come in. So Stribling for sure. I'm not trying to necessarily defend anything that Marv is doing or isn't doing, but is all of this hate warranted, and have you worried at all, or is this something that it's like this is something that is getting clicks right now and people are interested in, so everyone just keeps pressing the button again? He's had a couple of drops here and there. Has he been running full speed, full ramp up on everything? No. And then then they show a clip of, Michael Wilson running the same things, and well, yeah, the ball just hit Michael Wilson in the chest. For Marv, it was fucking 3 feet out in front of him. Not that he shouldn't catch it, but then this Marv, why is Marv dropping this ball? They see another angle of it, and it's a fucking duck. And I'm not trying to defend him. I'm just saying that it just seems that this is, I don't know. And maybe tell me I'm off base here.
Listen. Actually,
I don't know where you're going. I don't know where you're going. So I just
go first. Do you want to go first, Corey?
I'll chime in if you need a second to really figure out if you're going to hammer this guy's, coffin in the ground.
No, I'm not going to hammer his fucking coffin in the ground. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, now is the time. If you've waited for this long, we're going to pull some Conomics, and we're going to pull an Anthony Richardson, where we just keep buying the prices. It gets cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. This is where you can't abandon your priors. Do we think Marvin Harrison Jr. is good at football? That's not a rhetorical question.
Yes, I do.
Still believe it.
Yes. There's too much evidence to point to the fact that he is indeed good at football.
Yeah, and I was reading something about how most of the scouts and evaluators throughout the league are just completely puzzled as to why it has gone the way that it has with Marvin Harrison Jr., which leads me to believe that everybody and their mother still believes that he's fucking talented. But Casey, it goes back to a thing that you and I talked about at the beginning of the season last year. I just don't think that this is the place where we're going to get the best version of Marvin Harrison Jr.
Obviously.
And it could change on a dime. I don't like overreacting to camp news like that, because it's counterintuitive to what we believe about a player. Oh, he dropped the ball. Oh, is he not? He's not good. Oh, Casey, we did an episode early in the offseason where we talked about how he was at the top in 12 games played, 12 guys that played 12 games or less. He was at the top in red zone targets, end zone targets, first read target share, all these things that say my play caller believes that putting the ball in my hands is a plus for the offense. My quarterback is throwing me these balls. It's just a matter of developing the consistency. And every single time we got a flash, it was like we get hurt, or he has to get an emergency appendectomy, or he gets a concussion, and now going into year 3, we still have those unanswered questions, and it hurts worse because the other guy in his class that it was a debate between, do we take Malik Neighbors? Do we take Marvin Harrison? There's no question that Malik Neighbors has been better. So now you're like, well, am I just stuck holding the bag with Marvin Harrison? I don't think you are, but even if you are, let's keep buying. There's no way, there's no planet where he's going to pull a Rashee Rice and you're questioning what his future is in 2 years. It's just get the football together. Yeah. And it's been okay. It hasn't been shitty.
Right.
He's not pulling a Traylon Burks on you. He's not pulling a John Baldwin. He's not gonna just disappear.
All hell pit.
So we just gotta calm the hell down, I feel like. But that's my rant here.
Okay. I like it. I mean, that's typically my job around here. But
right.
And I think this, and I feel like what I just have recently seen is we saw the interview where he talks about, negative, how he thinks about the negative. He doesn't want to think about the positive stuff. He thinks about the negative things. And people are say, oh, well, his confidence is shot. And we all collectively, it was the Seahawks game where he had a terrible run out in the beginning of the game. And in the back half of that game, he catches a touchdown pass. And you could just see this just emotional block, like kind of just fall off of his shoulder. You could see it in his body language of just like, oh my God, thank God I caught that ball.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
And that is the only reason that man will fail, is if for whatever reason his confidence gets shot. And now everyone's hip to, oh, where's Marv's confidence? Like, and they're taking it from that I think that press conference was just him not trying to, like, him basically saying, hey, I'm aware of the things that I'm fucking up. Like I'm not looking at the positive stuff. I'm looking at the things that I can get better at. Right. And so I think that was slightly overblown there. And then, you know, every time I turn around, it's, you know, well, he dropped the ball and then Michael Wilson caught it. It's like, yeah, Michael, y'all boys didn't give a single fuck about Michael Wilson until last year about week 8. Not a one of you, not a single one of you. Nobody cared.
I liked him.
I mean, we all could. A lot of people liked him, but he was dead for so many people.
I agree with Chev that the buying window. I don't think the buying window is quite as open as it will. I think this is we're early to the buy window party right this minute. I think the average person isn't quite as on top of this as we are, as the Dynasty fantasy football Twitter community. Like, most people are probably another week or two away from really hearing this go through all the podcasts for the next week and see in all these clips and all this stuff. We're just going to see that stuff the first day, right? So it's a week or two away from maybe maximizing that buying window that Chev is saying. I don't disagree. The one thing I could say is Chev laid out some really good examples, and the Rashee Rice example, and like Marv's not going to go do something crazy and get in trouble, but you do, if you want to play the what could happen, this non-zero chance.
The not fun meter up today. What's that about?
Yeah, if you want to do the not fun meter, and you just want to say, hey, this actually could happen. It's very, very unlikely, but it could happen. Maybe this is his daddy's dream. Maybe Marvin Harrison. Maybe Marvin Harrison wants to be a pilot. Maybe that man wants to be a truck driver. Maybe he wants to go work
a T-Rex.
Maybe he wants to drive NASCAR. You know, he's too tall. But I'm saying,
I don't think you dominate college football like that because it was your dad's dream.
Right.
You could dominate college football a lot easier than you can dominate the NFL.
You certainly can, but like you would, if that's your dad's dream, you go to college and you go do like you go.
I'm
do
just
your
saying.
thing,
I didn't say it was
else.
a highly likely situation.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I've seen plenty of people.
It is possible
for sure.
It is possible.
Does he love it? And I mean, listen.
Oh, you've seen people say that? I haven't seen. I'm not copying that from anybody.
No, I'm not saying that you are. I'm just saying I've seen that same theory of floated out of, which is look. There's plenty of guys in the league who are like, hey, this is my ticket to get to somewhere else, and they don't love football like that, and that's what makes the difference between when we talk about guys like, do you love this shit or not? Like, you're not going to be able to. Very few guys are just going to be able to not love it and be good to great. I think Marv, for sure, maybe he doesn't love it. Maybe like his dad loved it potentially. He's also not on the Colts with Peyton Manning.
Yeah. What are we doing?
Arizona will do that to you.
Arizona will do that to you.
Stick him with
the Bidwells are awful.
With in one of the worst organizations. This is one of the few organizations that I can unequivocally say is worse than the Titans.
Worse than Tennessee.
Yeah. You stick him in the worst environment possible with a quarterback who, we talk about not loving it. He was clearly checked out. And then they decided to move on from a midway through the season. He finally gets the breakthrough that he needs. And then he has to miss time for an appendectomy. You saw him look good on Monday Night Football versus the Cowboys. You've seen these flashes, but we didn't have any sort of predictability with and consistency at the quarterback position. And is he a guy? Is he an Andre Johnson where he makes Matt Schaub look like a pro, like an above average quarterback for years on end? Probably not. But is this a guy that's capable of turning in Pro Bowl caliber, if not all pro caliber seasons? I still believe that. You have to evaluate what he's actually doing and whether or not. I think this would be a great case for our boy Joseph to give us some P-Whopper numbers on Marvin Harrison Jr. because I think that what he's actually doing and when he's targeted and how often he's targeted are not lining up with what he's actually doing.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that could be certainly part of it. And he's obviously not somebody who is always just the speediest guy ever, but he's a big physical presence. He obviously knows what to do out there. Confidence is number one, but and the other thing is like what the difference maybe between him and what his dad is maybe slight love, but also just like it. And I don't want to say this because there's allegations on his dad, but like I'm using this as a metaphor. Like he's not a killer. It doesn't seem like he's got that killer like his dad has, right? His dad's just. I know. I didn't know how else to say it.
Yeah.
Well, I know. That's no good.
We're far enough removed to where you can go figure out whatever the hell that means.
It wasn't how I didn't say it that way because of
what is it?
Yeah, just tough. If you want to Google it.
Yeah.
Right. It was a tough times make strong men make easy times, easy men makes
easy times make weak men,
right? Like I'm not saying he's weak. I'm just saying he didn't grow up like his dad. No chance. He grew up. His dad's a Hall of Famer. He grew up a millionaire. And the last thing we need to move on from Marv. The biggest thing that Marv needed to do with that, other than the fact that it was being filmed and he was dropping the ball, if he didn't just have those drop, the only thing he needs to do is not get hurt day one of training camp. Right.
Right.
So I don't really have a problem.
But
right. I don't have a problem with him going 3/4 speed.
I don't either.
I don't have a problem with that at all. The biggest thing we need, the least thing he needs to do is go get hurt and be like, and now he's hurt and blah. But just catch those balls that come close. Just get those. Just nab those. Just nab them. So we don't have to have those pictures of those easy drops on Twitter flying around, and now everybody's making clickbait. But there is something behind. It's not just clickbait. He dropped those balls. That's what I mean. Just catch the ball. You can run as slow as you want to run. Just don't drop those anymore.
Also,
I think that we're all underwhelmed with what from a physicality perspective on what it looks like.
Correct.
That's a big part of it too.
That's number one from confidence in that. And that's where that, anecdote came from me of just being like, if that would just get turned up to the Andre Johnson level, where he was a calm, cool kind of guy behind the scenes, didn't say much, which is kind of like, seems like what Marv is. If he could turn it up on the field like Andre and what did to your boy, out there.
Yeah.
Cortland Finnegan.
Finnegan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Beat the brakes off his ass.
All right. So hitting this question, and then that'll take us into the first question that's on the website, because these are kind of close.
Yeah. I have a philosophy question. I've been tanking for 2 years. I'm ahead of schedule. I have 6 first round next year in 3 seconds, 2/3. It would be an ugly tank, but I'm willing to do it.
Well, let me chime in here because we're ready. We got a question in the books that we're going to hit, and it's basically the same exact question. I don't think it may be the same guy, because his name's Cameron too. So Cameron, we're about to be looking at your team. It looks like the same exact guy. So you have 6 first round picks, says, and in 3 seconds. You don't have to tank if you got half of the first round, right? It's very unlikely. It has happened. You can see a guy that has 3 or 4 first round picks, and they're all the best teams because the best teams traded their first to try to get better to win. But if you got 5 or 6 first round picks, you got to have a couple in there that are bad, right? So like, you don't have to tank. And so he hits us in the chat. It is his same guy. So we can go to his question. We can go to his team, because looking at his team, his question that he sent us was, I got 6 first round picks. I think my team is too good. I will tank, but I don't know what to do because I think my team is too good. So Cameron's team, Casey and Chev, my man, is way too good to tank. You're on the verge. He's so good with all those first round picks mixed in. You're on the verge of risking the rest of the league folding up. Like, man's got Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Mac Jones, the ghost of JJ McCarthy, the ghost of Kirk Cousins. So he's got 2 starting quarterbacks, Drake May and Jay Daniels, that both go in the first round of a startup, and Mac Jones waiting in the wings. James Cook, Travion Henderson, studs. RJ Harvey, Braylon Allen, LaQuinn Allen, Isaiah Davis. Isaiah Davis getting a lot of pub.
Of course. So shout out to him.
2 stud running backs and RJ Harvey, who I like a lot. This is guaranteed floor RB2 for years. JSN, Malik Neighbors, Zay Flowers, studs. Marvin Harrison, he sucks. We just talked about that. Ricky Pearsall, pour one out. Probably a huge buy window coming up for Ricky Pearsall. Xavier Worthy. So
like
3 stud wide receivers. JSN,
Cameron,
Malik Neighbors.
Real quick,
right?
I'm gonna refund you in here since you hit us over here, so you're not
nice
paying twice.
for the people. The people. So massive amount of wide receivers, and then Sam Laporta, Aronde Gadsden, AJ Barner, and Ben Sinnott sitting there waiting to do something. Like, you got starters across the board, some of them absolute studs, stud quarterbacks, stud running backs, stud wide receivers, and Sam Laporta. If Sam Laporta has no back injury, good grief, Chev. And then 6 first-round picks. So my point was, I didn't realize it was the same guy for a minute, but like, I knew this question was coming. It's like, you can't tank with that team. It's impossible. So let your team, give up on your first-round pick being good, but you got 5 more. So those, being bad for your first-round pick being early, you're just going to have to go. If you're good, then you push those other ones down, right? Go win the championship.
Yeah. He said in the chat, BigCo, I don't know if you saw, he said he's got the 101 too in 26.
Jeez.
So he's going to have Jeremiah Love.
Now you're just showing off.
Yeah. So he has the first of the Black Sheep, who's a rebuilder. He's got Genty Tootin, who is middling. Like, I'm not moving that Black Sheep first. But
the 1-1? Or are you talking about for next year?
He's talking about for next year in 27.
Okay.
Yeah, 27. Yeah. I'm not. He's got that first for 27.
Is there any reason to move off the 26 current 101 for him? Do you think?
No.
I mean, package it up, go get Bijan.
I still think you still got to add a significant amount to it to try to get Bijan, but it's worth it. I was going to say, I'm glad that you said that, because I was trying to find the team that Bijan is on. If Bijan or Gibbs is not on a contender, like I saw Brock Bowers is on Mr. Haldo, whoever that is a rebuilder. And you were talking about Sam Laporta. I'm sending a first, a second, and Sam Laporta to try to get Brock Bowers.
Love it.
Just
love it.
The Bijan team is okay. They're classified as a rebuilder, but they're they got some okay players.
It's solid.
It's solid enough. I mean, their quarterback room is rough. It's Bryce Young and Justin Fields.
Oh my.
But
so when you package it up, when you're trying to go get like a Gibbs or a Bijan, you're trying to keep, when you got that many first round picks, you're trying to keep the one that looks like the worst team. So you give yourself a chance. And if I got Bijan or Gibbs, I'm like, I'm not making this trade if you don't give me Sally Joe's first round pick, who's the worst team in the league either. So like, you're going to have to fight that battle if the other team is smart enough to ask for it. But you're trying your best to keep, your best first rounder next year, if possible. If not, the best 2 if you can, and play with the ones, in the middle. Don't come out and try to give them BigCo's first round pick. Everybody know who's going to win a championship, right? Don't try to come send up the 112 next year. Try to give them the middle picks so they don't necessarily look like you clicked the best team in the league first, and then you start arguing about whose first round picks is the best and which one's the worst. I try to give the middle ones. Going after Brock Bowers is probably a really good idea. Not that Sam Laporta couldn't really stay close enough to him in fantasy points if everything all worked out for Laporta, but if you were to go from Laporta to Bowers, you could move away from that if his back injury is fine, which he's cleared. But, I just need Laporta to go see Matt Stafford's back doctor, and everything will be all right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean you can't tank. You're in good position. I think you've got the future secured. You've got the 101, like these guys are saying. Like, you can move that to try to, obviously the only thing you're doing is trying to get another elite. You're not trying to diversify from the 101 and move bad and do it. I'm trying to get a great player, one of the cornerstones at a position, or just draft Jeremiah Love, right? And then from there you could do. You don't have to keep Jeremiah Love. You could do.
Yeah, you're not in a hurry.
Right.
It's Jeremiah Love or trade.
So do you guys want to? Would you move off right now? You're just going to hang on to all the 27 first right now. There's no reason to be trying to get crazy with those right this minute. And when you're in the 26th draft, just be patient and hang on to all the 27s. Would that generally be what you're thinking?
Unless I'm adding a cornerstone to this roster, those are locked like a chastity belt.
All right. Any other things for Cameron here? Shout out Cameron Meyer. Great last name. I'm sure I said that last time.
Yeah, I don't see any other 2026 picks, so it looks like he's just got the 1-1 and that's it. I was looking around for seconds and thirds or whatever.
It doesn't look like it, but whatever.
So
that's all you need, dog.
Well, for sure, but I didn't know what kind of action he'd find himself in, and you could always, I'm definitely trading a second round pick next year to get into the middle of the earlier second round pick or second round to get Stribling if you missed that earlier. Obviously, if your draft is anytime soon, you might have a chance to get in there before it gets hot. But in a couple of weeks, you won't be able to. Strip's going to be in the first round.
Says he was offered CMC for a 27 first. I'm not doing that right now.
Yeah, you just got. I mean,
I'm not doing that before. I'm not doing that before football starts.
I would wait. If he'll do it now, he'll do it when training camp's over with.
If he'll do it now, he'll probably do it week 6. I mean, he moved 108 for Flowers. I love that move. Like that would be if you really like somebody in the middle of the first or late first and they're still hanging around, that would be a time where maybe I would cash in one of those futures because I'm like, hey, I like this guy, and a part of this game is getting guys you like, right? And maybe the value doesn't quite line up with 27s and 26s or whatever, but if you could find your way into there and find, say if you like KC Concepcion or you like Boston or you like Antonio Williams or Strib, go get those guys, right? All right, let's move on from Cameron here. Let's go to this fella here. Oh, I want to go back to Cameron. I'm going to hit you with the refund.
For the people.
All right. We're going to go to Big Penix Energy here. 10-team Superflex, double flex. My team is a strong contender, but I feel I need to make another move or two to have a chance at beating the defending champ, Mighty Marvin Bauer Rangers, who is a juggernaut. What trades would you recommend? I'm thinking trading D. Henry or packaging up wide receiver and 27 first for an elite wide receiver. So he said, what? Superflex, double flex. So he just means there's two.
Superflex with two more flexes.
Two more flexes and three, and it's 3 wide receiver, and it's a 10-teamer. So no, it doesn't look like any premium PPR. So, let's see what. So should we look at the we got Big Penix Energy and Marvin and the Power Rangers here. Let's see what he's up against here before we go any further.
It's aggressive.
Shuck, Prescott, Kyler Murray, Jacoby, Gino, Aaron Rodgers, Bijan, Cook, Chase Brown, Javonte, Spears, JSN, Justin Jefferson, Marv, AJ Brown, Ricky, and then Brock Bowers and Tucker Kraft. And
that's a juggernaut.
Have they had their
adequately?
Is see any 26s anywhere? Is there 26s?
No, it looks like the 26s have already been accounted for.
I don't see them. Is there any 26 players?
That's what I'm saying. I don't see either one.
Yeah, I don't either.
Which is kind of messing me up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at some of let's look at a not good team and see what
Okay, well, let's look at Big Penix Energy and see he's got Allen and Mahomes. So he's got an advantage in the QB room.
There's Carnell Tate on the team, so the rookies are out there.
Okay.
Yeah, I see Skylar Bell on this. Yeah, so we're good.
Omarion Hampton, Brees, Swift. So not quite on the level that Marvin Bauer
but
Rangers
the depth
is on,
keeps going. Jalen Moore, Kyle
Monunga,
David Montgomery, Jonathan Brooks. He's got the depth.
Sure. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tet, Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, Downs, Moore, Trey Harris, and then McBride over there. So that's at least positive that you can put up with an elite tight end play, right?
Yeah.
And you got Likely and Gadsden, so there's there's good depth there. So
he's got Josh Allen. He can compete with Juggernaut.
It's
Absolutely.
you're we like Waddle and Devonta Smith a lot. Like I think you got to start 3 wide receivers here. So I mean, his starting 3 are better than your starting 3, and then there's 2 more flexes. So he's got you out flexed, but I mean, maybe not though. I mean,
being out flexed.
Devonta Smith and Jalen Waddle. I guess who's your flexes? Devonta Smith and Waddle are your other flexes, basically.
You got Josh Downs and DJ Moore. That's solid.
Yeah. So basically, he's asking, thinking of trading for Derrick Henry or packaging a wide receiver and a 27 first for an elite wide receiver. So would this be a position where you'd be fine with moving off a 27 first right now and, packaging up like what would you want to do to try to acquire another elite receiver or make this team better here, guys?
It's so difficult. The math's so difficult on a 10-teamer because we all look at Teterow and McMillan and we're like, oh yeah, we talked. It's a borderline cornerstone. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I feel like Jalen Waddle and Devonta Smith are going to be great pieces to try to help you win. But if we don't get ceiling outcomes from either one, and they're just like 13 points a game, then you're kind of lagging a little bit in the receiver room. But this is, from a value perspective, this is great. So I don't necessarily want to move off of Teterow. Like he could grow into being an actual cornerstone, and we've not seen anything that says that he won't.
Mm-hmm.
But it still requires a little bit of projection. Same thing with, Devonta Smith's a little bit older, money winner, value loser. Same thing with Jalen Waddle. It just, you're in the hall of very, very good right now for a 10-team contender. It's just that he's just your opponent here has a little bit more oomph. Like he's gonna grab that championship and hump it into submission with Brock Bowers and Tucker Kraft. So, I mean, it's just he's just a little bit better than your team is right now. Like the JSNs, the Justin Jefferson. I mean, Marv, you got him there with Marv versus Devonta Smith. I'd rather have Devonta Smith if I'm trying to cash out, but then he's got AJ Brown, and I'd rather have AJ Brown over Jalen Waddle. And that's the biggest difference is he's got the hammer, and you've got like a small, just a little nail file.
But it is a 3 wide receiver league, and he's got Josh Downs and DJ Moore. So as you go through the season, he's got more options at putting a 3 wide receiver lineup together, which doesn't matter. They're both going to make the playoffs, and it's just, if you get in opposite sides of the playoff bracket, you only got to beat them in the championship, and anything can happen. And you got Josh Allen and St. Brown and Trey McBride. Like that, like this other team really is a juggernaut, but you're not that far away. You just don't have some of those top end names because he's got them all. And in a 10 league, 10 team, they're kind of spread out.
If I had to put if I had to put odds on it to BigCo's point, I'd say it's probably 60-40 him.
Yeah. Going through all these teams, like there's no bad team. The ones that are getting the monikers of rebuilding and middling are still fine teams, right? They just have a deficiency somewhere that the other teams maybe don't. But it just, to me, this question is comes down to answering of who's willing to trade. And when I scroll down to the last team here, this guy's got a decent amount of holes outside of, the QB room's good, but I mean, his running back room's meh. His wide receiver room is meh, but CeeDee Lamb sticks out like a sore thumb here. Right. So, in that case, do you want to try to move somebody like a Tet and a 27 first and see how close it gets you to getting a CeeDee Lamb?
I mean, I wouldn't send that offer right. You probably get that. I don't want to smash accept.
You think you get that?
I would be surprised if you didn't. If that's the worst team in the league, he should be taking that deal.
And I can't say for sure. And I don't know how he feels about his team. I don't know if he's aware. Some people aren't aware.
Right. Yes. Not everybody knows they're rebuilding. Not everybody.
I'm not saying this guy's got a bad team even necessarily, but it is a 10 team, and everybody's everybody's got a little bit better players. So you're trying to get higher end players.
I would start knocking on people's. I would package up. I would use an Aronde. You got Trey McBride in likely. I would use the hype of Arondé Gadsden and the new offensive coordinator coming over there. I would use the depth of like I would try to cash out on David Montgomery while you got a chance. You know, you got Hampton, Brees Hall, Swift, and the Monunga Swift combo is really, really nice. And I think Jalen Warren's going to be very RB2-y this year. I think we all saw Aaron Rodgers happy to throw it to the running back last year, and that guy's gone to Tampa. So I think Jalen Warren's probably going to catch a decent amount of balls to keep him very fantasy relevant while Rico Dowdle gets most of the touchdowns. But you could package up Jonathan Brooks right now before he gets hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe nothing happens.
Right. You're saying Brooks. I'm looking up at keeping up with the Joneses because I was trying to find the team that had Derrick Henry since since he mentioned him, maybe they've already been chatting, but it's a middling team. He doesn't have a 27 first. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that you're giving him the 27 first. I'm just saying he's already missing that. So maybe he would like a 27 second or whatever. But like he does, you mentioned Brooks. He has Chuba. Not that maybe would do anything for him, but Derrick Henry was somebody you were interested in. And then he's got these two old receivers right here. So is this a case where you try to get an elite guy like CeeDee Lamb? Obviously, that's kind of always going to be something. But like, is Mike Evans or Terry McLaurin somebody that you try to go help you get over the hump with Juggernaut? Because if Terry McLaurin reverts, if the Commanders can revert and Jaden Daniels can revert back to a year and a half ago, like Terry McLaurin's going to win you some money.
Yeah, I would be you hit this. Obviously, it's really hard for me to clamp down on 10-team league because it changes the math on the rosters and the depth and the starting lineup. It is tough transition, but it looks like this dude's got extraordinary depth between the running backs. And but being a 3 wide receiver league, I don't know if I want to keep the wide receiver depth that you have. Maybe using one of them in a trade to upgrade. Maybe you upgrade from Waddle or you upgrade from Josh Downs, you upgrade from DJ Moore, blah, blah, blah. But like between Jonathan Brooks and David Montgomery and Arondé Gadsden, like you find somebody that feels like they need running backs. You found somebody that feels like they need a tight end. Like I feel like you could make something happen with those guys and you didn't even touch your starting lineup.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what if you threw Brooks and something else together for that guy down there who has the bunch of old guys on a team that probably he needs to cash in on those old guys now, because he's not winning anything, and they could really help his team out here to help him get over the hump for the depth of the third wide receiver, I don't necessarily know that you need Derrick Henry on this team, but it's certainly not going to hurt, right?
No, it ain't going to hurt.
If Derrick Henry's in your lineup instead of Swift, that's cool. You could package up Swift and Monunga and trade him down to that guy and try to get Derrick Henry and the olds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or, whatever
keep
it is.
Keep an old trick and keep an old trick in mind. Like, it is a 10-teamer. Like if you end up using your first round pick, try to give it to a bad team if you could. And then try to get their second round pick in the trade, and nobody's saying you're going to win the championship, but let's say you get to the playoffs and you get third place game, or hopefully you get in the championship. You trade away the 1-9, the 1-8, the 1-9, and you get back the 2-2 or the 2-3 potentially if you get a bad team's second round pick. And if you're giving away Gadsden or Jonathan Brooks and somebody, or Dave Montgomery, if you're probably not getting all those guys in the same trade, but when you're putting parts and pieces together to upgrade and you're using your first to do it, try to get that second round pick back from the bad team and, give up a third or something to try to make those numbers work out for the guy. And then all of a sudden, maybe this time next year, you only moved four picks in the rookie draft.
Yeah, you've got a good mix of things to try to help you navigate to get, I think probably your best course of action is trying to get some of the older studs that are good to try to help you get over the hump for Bauer Rangers, or trying to get your first involved and a bunch of depth and go get like a CeeDee Lamb or whoever other's team has like an elite player that might want to get rid of him. That's the dance you got to figure out, right?
I'd want to pay much more and be in the CeeDee Lamb sweepstakes. That for me, in a 10-team league, and you already this good, and you already got that many good players, like the Terry McLaurin trade for this guy and this team, it's not making me super thrilled.
Oh, I think Terry McLaurin could easily get you over the hump to beat this guy. If Terry McLaurin is back to where Terry McLaurin has been, I think Terry McLaurin can get you over the hump, and it doesn't cost you a whole lot. And once you've won now, all right, well, now we can relax, and you still have the same team. Really, you didn't really trade anything.
I think that's a major league to say Terry McLaurin is the guy that gets him over the hump here. I disagree.
Dude, whoa. If he's healthy, I mean, if he's healthy and Jaden Daniels is healthy, you're saying you don't think that Terry's gonna be a difference maker?
I didn't say he's not helping. I don't think he's the one that gets you over the hump against the guy that has Bijan and JSN and Justin Jefferson and Brock Bowers and
okay.
I mean, he doesn't have Josh Allen. You're winning in the quarterbacks,
right?
Yeah, you're crushing in the quarterbacks. You're crushing in the quarterbacks, and then you kind of lagging a little bit behind and everything else.
I'm not saying just Terry's gonna, but like to me that's a team where I could go figure out, could I get Mike Evans? Could I get Terry? Could I get Derrick Henry? And I don't have to spend a whole lot of stuff. And dude, I think you're sleeping on what Terry could potentially be this year. Like
Terry, if Terry plays all the games and he's 15 points a game, and then you're just hammering 15 points a game and you're flex at that point, you got to feel good about that.
Oh, I would feel good. I don't know. I don't think Terry averages 15 points a game this year.
Bro, Terry McLaurin just a year ago was wide receiver 7. Like we're 1 year away from Terry McLaurin being 267 PPR points.
That's what I'm saying. Like that. Him being out there every single week and giving you it's not going to be 18 points a game, but 15. Yeah. Who's the target competition?
Right. That's kind of what I'm saying.
It's the cheapest.
I think he could be a cheap top 10 wide receiver was the way that I was looking at that.
Him, Mike Evans, Devontae Adams, all the plus 30 guys that can still go out there and give you meaningful fantasy points are the guys that you need to be targeting, because it's not going to cost you.
Yeah.
McLaurin might cost you a first, but Evans isn't going to cost you a first. Devontae Adams isn't going to cost you a first.
Yeah. I mean, and Derrick Henry, you get to figure out a way, but like, I'm with you. Like I started out with saying, hey, let's go get CeeDee Lamb off of this guy's team. If that's my first stop, can I go figure out how to get an elite? But I don't know how many of those guys are going to want to, does this guy want to give up Nico Collins? I don't know if he does. So it just seemed like that was a situation where, hey, that's a doable thing that could happen for me in that situation. So anyhow, you move on to the next one.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Really, really a broad question. If we get some more pointed questions here, boys.
I suck at fantasy football?
And go get the roster review, and then we could do the roster review. All right, what would you do with this team? It could go either way. Probably wait till week 5-ish to sell or buy players and picks. Did he say which team was his?
Marion Ben Hampton.
Marion Ben Hampton. Oh, man, I
forgot. He's got 227 first.
Okay. He's got Drake May. He's got Tua. He's got Amarion Hampton, Travion, Etienne, Coleman, Harvey, Gainwell, LaQuinn Allen.
It's a 3 wide receiver league.
Okay. He's got CD. He's got Tet. He's got DK. He's got Coker. Okay. He's got Aronde Gatson and Jake Ferguson. Like you said, no 26. Have they done the 26 yet?
Yeah, I see Tanner Koziol right there.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, all right. So where generally, I mean, as I'm perusing the rest of the league, thoughts on this guy's team here?
Like what's happening, but we're a ways off from winning money. Just not far, but just a little ways off. I'll go ahead, BigCo.
Like you said, just clicking around and checking to some other 3 wide receiver league, and DK Metcalf's your third, and Jalen Coker's your fourth, and then you kind of looking around for another starter. So that's your biggest weakness in my eyes right this second. You can be no premium. You're probably going to pull your hair out every week deciding between Gatson and Ferguson in your lineup. So maybe you want to trade them both away and get a tight end that you want to have in your lineup every week. Ferguson has caught a ton of balls in the last couple of years, and Gadsden has looked ridiculously good in spurts. There's a lot being said about the game splits when Pickens and CeeDee Lamb were both healthy at the same time. Jay Ferguson was crushing early in the season when CeeDee Lamb got hurt, and Pickens had not been in the lineup playing with Dak very long, but it kind of tailed off towards the end. Jake Ferguson's a safe tight end, but when you're trying to look for the upper end stuff, that Ronnie Gadsden could give it to you. There's just so many options potentially for the Chargers. That's the first thing that I think about is trying to get another startable wide receiver that I feel good about, and trying to work on my tight end. You got Drake May, and that is
Geno for this year.
Geno for this year, fair enough.
Maybe Tua for this year.
Maybe Tua for a while, for a little bit. Running backs look really solid compared to what it could be. I mean, Hampton and Travion, Travis Etienne. Apparently, it's Achane now. That's what somebody put in the comments. They thought I was joking, but that I was pretending I didn't know his last name was Achane. Like, I thought that was a joke. Achane is. We already got an Achane, and it doesn't look anything like this spelling. So I know I'm South Carolina public educated, and I'm stretching to just. I will call you anything you want, Travis, but it's tough to get Achane out of that.
Well, I mean, shit. You get Krzyzewski out of some shit that's got a K and S's and all kind of shit in it. So let's just roll with it.
It's Coach K. I can't even say shit. I got Duke 91, 92 back-to-back champ.
Oh, we lost BigCo. He got too flustered. What's going on? There's no A or C or H or what's happening? So, Marion Ben Hampton here.
Fucking got me. I'm sorry.
I like the squad. I think middling is appropriately, of course, every moniker that is made on the website is not going to reflect everybody's team, and they're going to feel a certain type of way about it. In this case, I do feel like that's probably right on time with kind of where you're at here. I think you've got good parts and pieces, but generally, there are some better teams for the most part. To me,
wild. Absolutely wild that Jonah Coleman has surpassed RJ Harvey in dynasty value, according to our site here.
Right. Oh, BigCo's back. Nope, not quite. Camera's not on. Maybe his camera died. I don't know what happened. But you're deficient in the QB room. You can, if you had a great roster, you could play scrub second QB, but you don't have the great roster, which you can be fine this year with the guys that you have. So, that's already a problem. BigCo was already stating about the QB or the tight ends a little bit, and now it's not premium, so it's not the end of the world. But like the guy who has Tucker Kraft down here, he's got some killers at the quarterback position, and then he's got Stafford backing him up. He's got JT and Jacobs and Henry. Like, he's ready to go. He's got Jefferson if he bounces back. Now receiver room a little light, but Kraft there. So, solid team. This guy's got Mark Andrews. What do you think, Chev? Brock Bowers guy's got a pretty solid team, a little light.
It's just we gotta be a little patient. We could get a little bump. Here with Kayshon Boutte might most likely getting traded.
Yeah,
he's not gonna be. I'd be shocked if he's on the Patriots opening day roster.
Yeah, I mean, he's too good to not have a role somewhere. Like, he's
That's
been
what I'm saying. He's just been
so solid. And
good.
they brought in Dubs and Kyle Williams, I think, can assume a sort of more Boutte role with with kind of how they've been using. But I think Boutte can blossom into an awesome receiver.
Well, I mean, you think about it. Going into the 2023 season, he was the number one receiver going into that season. A lot of people had him as the number one.
As far as the rookies.
Yeah, as far as the rookies.
Yeah.
Like the incoming 2023 class. He was in that same conversation with who was all in that class, JSN and all. That was a real thing. So we're talking about a guy who's shown that he has real talent, and then he's worked his way up from being a day 3 pick to meaningful snaps and performing whenever the situation.
Right, and also having a very negative stigma around him, which is kind of why it landed him there. And he's just that's kind of all went away. So that's all really good signal right there.
Yes,
So I like that.
But
to me, this is probably, hey, I'm gonna probably trade Travis Etienne if Tua can do anything, or if Geno can get me anything. I'm gonna trade those guys. I'm gonna roll it. You got 2 picks in 27 already. I'm gonna roll this thing down the line here and just try to take a couple of points out of my lineup. Maybe I sell DK. I don't think I want to sell CD right now. And just to me, I'm not going anywhere in the buying category unless it's like a young rising star, if we're doing the buckets thing or something along those lines, right?
Yes. Yeah, I try to unload Tua after his first meaningful game, or whenever he gets unloaded as a starter. I hold on to Geno. Until he has a good game, and then I go take a second or a third or whatever. If I'm committing, let's commit to the direction and not accidentally put points in our lineup that cost us a spot, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, those guys, Tua doesn't fit, Geno doesn't fit. Jameis is probably not gonna. I mean, he's probably not gonna play unless something happens to Jackson Dart.
Yeah, I mean, you got a Gainwell down here.
Yeah, Gainwell. Here's the thing: Gainwell, Tua, Geno, Travis.
Even BigCo mentioned Ferguson. Like, he's not old by any means, but if he gets rolling and somebody needs a tight end, you could facilitate that.
Yeah, you can. Again, that's another guy. I'd be more apt to move Jake Ferguson than I would Gaston, just because of the age difference.
And just, I don't think Ferguson's gonna be fine in your lineup, but I don't think the value and what he can be can blossom any further. So yeah, I think this is a great, like Crispy just said, this team's got an amazing core. It does have a very good core. We're low at wide receiver or QB2, which, like I said, if you had a great team all around to overcome this, then I'd be like, all right, well, F it. We can roll with the scrub as your 2. I've won many championships with the scrub 2 that just plays and doesn't blow it. But BigCo is back joining us. Give us your thoughts here before we move on to our next question. And actually, I got to get a PrizePicks read in after this. So
no, I could hear you guys. I just don't know what happened to my camera there. I think the Coach K and the HN chat had me laughing, and I hit something. I don't know what happened, but it disappeared over here. But yeah, Jake Ferguson catches, dump downs from his boy. Dak loves Jake Ferguson. I've heard a couple of people on podcasts be like, I don't know why Jake Ferguson keeps catching the balls. That's what happens when the quarterback likes you. The boys are boys, and Ferguson gets his catches. But you're not gonna. We talked about this a couple weeks ago with the package of the Cowboys in the red zone. Like, Ferguson is Dak's boy, but like CeeDee Lamb and Pickens, dominating in the red zone against the defense, right? So I don't think you can count on Jake Ferguson to get a whole lot of touchdowns if one of those wide receivers don't get nicked up. But yeah, I do agree wholly with. I don't think you're getting. It'd be interesting to see Tua's hot. If Tua has a hot start and you could trade him, get something for him, I don't have a problem with that. I don't see that really happening, but it could. Yeah, you could definitely get a second round pick for Geno Smith when he starts, and he looks like if he looked like he looked 2 years ago, there's no reason you can't get a second round pick for Geno, and just tank it out a little bit around the core of that team and try to get better set of draft picks, like Chev said.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with all that. There's just a cut, like you look around and there's like a couple of teams that are like, you're probably better than they are, and if you made a move or two, you could be better than them. But then you get down to these couple of the contenders, and I don't think you're overcoming those guys right now. And I think you just be wise to just hang out for a second, be patient, and just try to gather a little bit more things to make a couple more calculated moves to get some younger good talent.
We made fun of him about his question, but like he said, I'll probably wait until week 5-ish to sell or buy players or picks. And like, that's literally mostly half the battle of what we tell people anyway.
Right.
So
exactly.
You're halfway there, just being like, I'm going to let it simmer for just a minute and figure out what's going on. You give everybody else a chance in the league to figure out if they think they're winning or losing. Now you figure out who should be buyer and seller. They don't necessarily always line up like that, but it gives you a chance to now the person that you sold Tua to might give you a little bit more. Now the person that you're selling Geno to might actually want to give you something, etc.
Right. I like it. All right. Dougie says, just wait for the first good starting quarterback to get hurt and then pounce with both Tua and Geno as replacements. All right, let's we got two more questions on here. And then we'll talk a little bit more after we're done, but I definitely need to get to PrizePicks over here. PrizePicks, America's #1 sports pick app. The app is really easy to use for player picks. Just pick more or less on a few players and stats and lock in your lineup. That's it. Rather just pick teams, PrizePicks has that now too. Just pick the winner, spread, or total on any game or fight. PrizePicks is available, but not limited to most states, including California, Texas, and Florida, and beautiful, sunny, super fucking hot Charleston, South Carolina. It is available here, and we've been playing. New user offer, best of all, play your first $5 and get $150 in lineups if you win. Just use promo code HMA when you sign up. That's right. PrizePicks just switched up their offer. There's no better time to join. Lock in and win with your first lineup. That's code HMA. Sign up and get $150 in bonus lineups if you win your first $5 plus lineup. So we won our last prize pick. We were on the schneid a little bit, had to get off it, but we're back. And what happened was we started messing with that soccer. And it was fun, but we had to go back to the diamond, and we're back to the diamond. And I'm telling you, I've nickeled and dimed this thing up to a decent little nut here. And just picking.
Wait a second. You got more than you started with?
Way more.
No way.
So much more.
Get out of here.
I'm up to 466. Started with 0.
No, you did not.
Yeah. Obviously, we've had.
Well, you didn't start with 0. You can't.
I mean, I got free money from them.
Well, how much was that? 100, 200?
But that money's kept separately, basically. So, basically, I had a 0 balance and I had free play money. Now my balance is up, to 450, and the free play money is still down there.
Get out of here.
So. We're doing all right on the diamond, boys. We're doing all right on the diamond.
Got a little this and a little that. And right. Now you look up, I got up $400. It's fine.
Pitcher strikeouts and hits is all I've been rolling with, and we're back at it tonight. We're on the late night card here. We got Jeremy Pena versus the Angels. We've got more than 0.5 hits. On the other side of that card, we had to go with Mike Trout, more than 0.5 hits. Next, we jump onto some pure West Coast on West Coast action. We've got Dodgers, Mariners. On this one, we took the Dodgers, Freddie Freeman, and those chompers. I don't know if you've seen Freddie Freeman's teeth. Those things are crazy. But we got him more than 0.5 hits, and Teoscar Hernandez to have more than 0.5 hits. So with this one, we went with a pick 4 flex tonight, so we don't have to hit all 4, and we can still get paid. We get paid a little more if we hit all 4, a little less if we hit 3. But boys,
gotta say, did not see that coming. That you've been making money.
We're in the positive. We're in a positive.
That is fantastic news. I did not see that coming.
Again, promo code HMA at sign up and help your boys out. People helping people. We'll see you next time. We'll see you next time on a PrizePicks. Winners.
Giving out winners, apparently. Definitely going into a massive losing streak.
I went in a little hole. We won a couple soccer, but PrizePicks wants you to throw some soccer around because they're promoting it. It's fun. But what the hell do I know about,
It's fun. It's fun. It's got to get crushed.
Yeah, I don't know anything about baseball either, but I can see who's been hitting and be like, oh, this guy's been hit every game for 6 days. He's got to hit again.
Nice. He can see the ball right now.
Is he facing an ace or not?
Nice. Casey dropping dimes out here with the baseball knowledge about how to bet it. All right, boys, I'm old. I got to get out of here.
All right. Me and Chev will finish this up. Appreciate you.
Yep. Later, guys.
Shout out to James.
Peace.
Let's get in here. Let's get a couple more. The last 2 questions in for people's pleasure here. Hello, my league. Hello. My league is in its 2nd season. I was out on the first. I was out the first round of the playoffs. So basically, I sat T-Law. Still did not like my team. Trades went crazy in the offseason. I completely transformed my team. I was wondering if I should make any moves or just go into the season as is. Thinking of adding a running back, but I don't want to lose too much. This is a 12-man, 1 quarterback tight end premium. My previous team was quarterback Lamar, Trevor, JJ, running back Chase Brown, Henry, Tootin, Monungai, Montgomery, Pacheco, Allen, Wright, Smith, Tucker, Gordon. Wide receivers were Jefferson, Ibuka, T. Higgins, Watson, Tillman, Mooney. Oh, said he too. Vele. Tight ends are Fannin, Tucker, Kraft, Helm. Great room and 1 quarterback premium there. I like that a lot. Love the show. Probably my favorite to listen to. Well, you're my favorite. Appreciate you guys. Let's check out the power rankings. I'm assuming since you listed all those guys again, you've made some moves. So let's check it out.
Just a little bit. What
was he's Weapon X?
Yeah.
All right, let's expand it. Let's double check here. We're 1 quarterback PPR, but he said it's tight end premium. It's start 3 wide receivers, 2 flex. So he's got Lamar, as he mentioned. Start 1 quarterback. While I'm fine with punting quarterback in that situation for the most part, Lamar's a good one to have. Gentine, Omarion, Hampton, and then he's got Tootin, Monungai, Brooks, and then Jefferson, Nico, Rome, AJ Brown, and Christian Watson. Hachi Machi. Jalen Coker and Darnell Mooney. Shout out to them to Darnell Mooney. And then Fanning, he does not have Kraft anymore. It does not appear. So yep. Eli Stowers and Mark Andrews. So made a lot of moves. Why do you hate this team?
Because you traded Tucker Kraft.
What do you even know? Yeah, what do you even know?
What are you even doing over there?
All right. So what was the overarching question here? Second season was at the playoffs. Wonder if he should make any moves or just go into the season. Chev. He's position group. He's 1 in tight end. He's 1 in RB. He's 3 in quarterback, 8 in wide receiver. Right. So those are just arbitrary numbers that the site puts together here, all based off of a lot of things, but that doesn't necessarily mean
they have meaning. We're not going to explain exactly what it all means right now.
Right. Just it has meaning, but you don't get super caught up in it. It's just a guide. All of these things on these websites, nothing should be taken as the gospel. It should be taken as a guide and to just kind of put in perspective of what is kind of being processed. So, I gotta scroll through some teams here, but generally, is there anything that you think that there's no real deficiency here that you have to go in and fill in a hole, and that's a good place to be, because at that point, for me, what I'm then doing is saying, all right, well, hey, yeah, could I use maybe a little bit more depth that I would really want to count on going into the season as my running back room? Yes. Wide receiver room, I'm fine with. You could probably use 1 more depth piece, mostly just because you're starting 3 wide receivers and the other 2 in your flex. So, but you do have Tootin, Monungai, and Brooks to kind of lean on if you maybe needed it. And unfortunately, you don't have Kraft anymore, but he could have been one of your flexes.
Oh.
So, Chev, what's your thoughts here?
Let's go get some money, man. I really like this wide receiver core. You've got enough. Well, we're a little thin and tight. I just don't. What did he get for Tucker Kraft? Is what I want. Anyway, I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna stay focused. I'm flabbergasted because I don't really think, legitimately, I don't think that there's a lot that you need to do here. Your wide receiver room is really strong. We're just waiting, quite literally just waiting on Rome Odunze to return back to form and Justin Jefferson. And I feel like you have the strongest team. I mean, obviously, fuck Dallas here is listed as a contender, but you got him at quarterback. He's got the depth at running back on you. You crush him at receiver, and he's got Trey McBride, and you've got Harold Fannin. So if we're looking at that as your primary competition, there's other couple teams here. I don't feel what was his need? What does he need us to answer?
He was basically just asking, is there any moves he should make, and what what exactly should he do? And so that's kind of where I was. Maybe depth at running back.
We need
maybe
a little.
Maybe you could add a tight end.
Yeah, you needed. You never want to be this thin at tight end, in my opinion, in a tight end premium league.
Yeah, I would tend to agree.
Eli Stowers is a nice bet, and we like Eli Stowers. I think Eli Stowers is going to be great. But where you are right now, it doesn't make the most sense to be making bets like that when you're trying to make money. And you're in a place to where this team should win you some money, or at least get you to the third place game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd strongly consider adding running back depth. And try to get a cheap tight end. Try to go get Dulcifer off of somebody.
Ooh. Right now, I'm searching the database for Tucker Kraft and Gunnar Helm trades, since it does look like maybe in the trade he did send Gunnar Helm and Tucker Kraft.
For what?
I'm trying to find out. There can't be that many trades involving both of those guys. I
know.
I don't know.
Newsflash: it was me he traded him
to. Yeah, I mean, so do you go get an older running back here to, if you're kind of like, is there or like you said, another tight end would be quite fun here. So this guy's team's pretty stinky, and he's got Kyle Pitts, and obviously you just traded away a tight end, so maybe that's not where your head's at. And his only good player is Bijan, and he's got Mahomes and Hurts, and not a lot of capital. It is single quarterback, right? I don't know what you could possibly trade Delco's finest for Bijan here, but I'd be interested.
Yeah, let's get weird.
Anyhow, I think to me, it's another person you could count on in the running back room. That would be my target. And who would that exactly be for somebody like this, Chev? Like, is it a Javonte Williams? Is it somebody like that who's kind of like, from, if we're doing buckets kind of thing, like money maker, value loser, or is it is it an OG, or are you trying to find like an ascending star and overpay a little bit? Because you got Genty and Hampton, and you have a 27 first. You have 228 first, or 228 seconds.
You've got speculation on Tootin that could blow up, and then Monungai is going to be a top 30 guy in totality, but I don't know how much he's going to help you on a week in, week out basis. I'm torn. I think, let's look.
How much more does it take to go from Tootin to Scatabo?
Right.
We got a rebuilder here. But he does that. Like, he's got a good. The Drizzy Drake's got Allen, Jeremiah Love, Tedero McMillan, and Brock Bowers. So all across his watchtower there, he's got some pretty solid pieces. He just needs to build it out a little bit. But that could take a year or two for him to figure that out. And it's not like he's super rich in picks. He's got 2 27s. Like, so Scatabo would be somebody who would be interested. Like, I'm with you. Like, I like Tootin, and Tootin could be, but like, I would probably try to use the Tootin Express here to try to go find my running back that I think is, and I know we just said like potentially like an up and comer, which Tootin could certainly be that. And this could, be like Chev likes to say, on fantasy receipts. But
I genuinely, but I genuinely feel that way though. Like, I think, I don't know.
Is Josh Jacobs too scary for you right now?
No, that's who I was trying to get there, because could he have some sort of competition if Marshawn Lloyd's body isn't made out of silly putty? Could we have a little bit of regression from Josh Jacobs just having a complete stranglehold and like 90% of the inside the 5 carries and dominating the backfield share overall? Yes, that could happen. At the same time, he's been dominant and scored 28 touchdowns in the last 2 years or something crazy like that. So Josh Jacobs is one of the contender buys that's a guy that should have a stranglehold. Like you should have a firm grip on him if you're a contender, or be charging a king's ransom. And because of the legal situation, because he didn't finish the season strong, people have written him off as, oh, he's washed, or, oh, he's not that good, or, oh, I don't want any parts of him. And I think that's one of the biggest advantages that you can create. I saw Crispy, you're highlighting Chiga Conquo there. I like that a lot. Also, I'm obliged to, I absolutely have to mention the fact that, Gunnar Helm, you sent Gunnar Helm away, and Greg Dulcich.
Got to mention. So going back and shout out, I think Steve-O here. He's got Steve-O 484, and then there's a Delco guy. There's a Johns guy. So I'm going to assume this guy is a somewhere in the southeast of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, the Rust Belt.
Well, that's not the Rust Belt.
Not the Rust Belt. My bad.
No, but shout out to, if this is anybody near the Lehigh Valley, we've talked about it before, but that's the hometown. I spent my first 18 years in Easton, Pennsylvania. So shout out to the boys in the Delco area there. But I'm in Charleston, South Carolina now. But going back to this real quick, Cooper DeJohns, like we mentioned, Josh Jacobs, like he matches up well with a lot of things you have. He's got Mike Washington, you have Genty. He's got Josh Jacobs, that could be a fun target. Dallas Goedert, this guy. Did this guy have Stowers, or was that the last guy?
Yeah, he has Stowers and Harold Fannin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and Mark Andrews. We did overlook Andrews there.
No, I said it's
okay. I did.
I said we needed a little. I would like to have a little bit more depth, because if Andrews is cooked and you're just depending on Harold Fannin, it's okay, but you don't want to be running butt naked out there in tight end premium with just one tight end. That's not the way that we like to construct rosters. I feel can comfortably speak for you and BigCo and everybody associated with us here at the FFD.
Correct.
When we say that.
But I feel like this is a nice match because you have Washington in there, you have Jacobs. I mean, Dallas Goedert with Stowers for like a year. Like, there's a lot of target share vacated, and I think obviously some of it's going to move right over to I want to say Deshaun Jackson, but that'd be the Jeremy Maclin era. Why am I drawing a blank on the Slim Reaper?
Devonta Smith.
Obviously, some of that's going to move over there. They drafted Lemon. We're expecting things out of him, getting some Wicks love out there in camp. But yeah, I think this guy matches up with you well. And like, do you want to give up somebody like Tootin for like a bunch of guys like that? I don't know, but I actually don't mind it if, like, what else can I get with Tootin for? Like, I think a lot of people right now would probably gladly trade Tootin for Josh Jacobs, straight up.
Yeah. Easy. If I could do that, I'm doing it all day and twice on Sunday.
Because, and this guy's just a prime candidate to get somebody like Tootin, because he's young and ascending. He's got Jamar Chase and Garrett Wilson, but like everything else is young. Josh Jacobs doesn't fit the build. And some of these older tight ends, like, TJ Hawkinson and Goddard could be really loose gripped. And you got Mike Washington, and that's your guy's backup, which he's got Genty.
Another cheap tight end that we've discussed a little bit in passing in the show. Pat Freiermuth with Aaron Rodgers this year.
Interesting. I rode that train a little bit, but I agree. I don't mind it.
I want to paint a picture of Aaron Rodgers with Robert Tonyan in the 11 touchdown season. That's where I think that could go. I don't think it's going to be a ton of volume. He might catch 60 balls. He might catch 50. He's going to throw double-digit touchdowns because Aaron Rodgers, that's just one thing that he does. He'll hone in on one guy and just throw a piss missile to him in the red zone all the time.
Yeah, I like the Muth drop there. All right, let's move on here. We're going to move on to our last one here. We got Tez McCann. He's been a Patreon guy for a long time. Appreciate you. Been a long time listener. he's not saying that. I just know from the name, from being in mocks, from being in the Patreon. Patreon has moved over to the website. Essentially, it's the $7 holler. You get the extra episode, you get the Discord, you get all the rankings, you get the ADP. If you're not, go over to the $7. You get more of us. You can ask us more questions. And then if you're in any of those already and you're not in the Discord, come on over here and you can ask us questions just like we're doing here. But you're in the Discord, you're a paid member, you get access to be able to ask questions whenever you want. So come on over. You guys are my good luck charm for this league. Each offseason I reach out for help, and each season I win the league. All right, hey, this we could cut a promo with this guy. I'm aiming to go back to back this year. Back. Gone. I'm thinking I could afford to move Shuck for a wide receiver. I've tried for Flowers, AJ Brown, Egbuka, and Puka without any luck. Given I have Shuck and Darnold as my QB3s, do you think it's the right move to try to capitalize on the current hype around him? Who would be trade targets you would recommend? How do I improve my wide receiver room without giving up 27 capital? I think we did a roster review for Tez last year too.
Interessante.
Roster reviews are live, $15 on the automated, $60 on the full breakdown. We got a bunch of full breakdowns coming your way. Some of them will be released publicly. You can have it public or private, but they're about to drop and we're recording more. So appreciate all of you guys out there. But yeah, come check out the automated one on the site, and then join the Discord, and then you can ask us questions about said automated roster review. A little cheat for your pleasure. All right. Master Chief. He's got Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow. He mentioned Shuck and Darnold. And then he's got Milroe behind Darnold. So you got a nice double package there.
Double package.
Gibbs, Bijan, Tootin, Sharbs, Rico, Algier, Pickens, T, McLaurin, Pittman, Coker, Godwin, Kincaid, Kittle, Strange, Helm, 227 first, Arroyo, love that. So do you think he should give up Shuck potentially to capitalize on there? And then, how does he improve his wide receiver room without giving up some 27 value? So it's 3 wide receivers, start 3 wide receivers and 3 flexes. So then
it's full PPR tight end premium.
Correct. So he wants to boost up this wide receiver room. How does he get that done? And Gibbs and Bijan are just absolutely holding it down for you right now.
Yeah, that's
he's basically looking to use. He's got some depth at quarterback. He could expend one of them. What could he potentially that's going to be your best route because you don't necessarily need a quarterback back. And what were the guys? Egbuka, Flowers, Puka, AJ Brown without any luck. And so I don't know what those deals were, but he's already gone for those.
Probably, I'm assuming straight up for Shuck or
right.
Which is crazy. That'd be real tough for me to turn down depending on my situation. If I was sitting there with AJ Brown and somebody brought me Tyler Shuck, I'd have to be very, very strong at quarterback to just reject that.
Right. All right. I'm going to pull up the crowdsource rankings.
Yeah, I'm looking through things right now. So I'm assuming he wants to add a money winner value loser or a cornerstone at receiver.
Let's go look at Shuck here. All right, he's coming in at 64. We can shoot over to. We'll keep it here. He's coming in at 64. So some play. Did he mention Rome in his
as one he's trying to
somebody he tried to get? So Rome Odunze for me. I love Rome Odunze. I think he could be, and he's right. He's kind of right there on par. AJ Brown is kind of down here. How do you feel about Rashee Rice? Is that too risky?
No risk it, no biscuit. I feel great about that. It's just that
I think he
by
might be
doing
able to should get some on top. I think maybe
you should 1000% get something on top. Pause. Also, you want to, if you're gonna make that bet, you need to insulate yourself. You need to insulate yourself with a pick, if not some sort, even if it's a future and you have to like swap picks in a different year, you just want to give yourself another at bat to try. If this goes really poorly and Rashee Rice just crashes and burns, you want to give yourself another at bat to try to get that right, because you're it's not going to hurt you lineup wise per se, but just losing a trade that can soften the blow a lot of times. And if you get that right, if you're out here listening to us during the rookie draft season, male pattern rookie horniness, then we'll help you get right.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're saying you won back to back to back to back, like, you're already well positive in the money, right? And I agree with Doug here saying, I'm not sure if I'm moving Shuck straight up for a wide receiver. Got to be a good one if I'm not getting a QB in return. Absolutely. So some of those deals that you were putting out there that you haven't been, you shot for Egbuka, which was maybe a little high, but that's where the range that I would want to keep shooting shots in for the most part. And now I went way down there and said Rice. I said Rome. But Egbuka's been flying up the crowdsource. Now, as I say that, he's dropped down, but he's at 29 right now. So like, could I get, that'd be a kind of the range where I started in. Like, can I get a Carnell Tate? Can I fit? I think he has Pickens, right?
Yeah. Yes, he has Pickens, T. Higgins, and somebody else.
Right. And so you tried to get Flowers. You've moved on down the list. But I generally agree with Doug, but it is his way to upgrade. So like Rashee Rice is probably a little risky there, and it sucks if it doesn't hit, and Shuck's awesome. And then that's not necessarily something that I'm like coming highly recommended. Really, that just is like, hey, I've won 3 championships back to back to back. If you want to try to keep this fun rolling, like he's somebody who comes out, and if he's right, he's gonna be a wide. Like you can all I see online is how much Rashee Rice stinks, and he's not any good. And I'm just like,
it's just not rooted in any sort of.
And if he leaves the Chiefs, he's not going to be as good. Maybe so, but generally, like if he plays, he scores wide receiver 1 points.
Look, man, there are people out here who are actively sharing Charlie Kolar's college stats as proof that he's a capable receiver in the NFL.
Oh, he was awesome at Iowa State.
And you don't even, but here's the thing about Rashee Rice. If you watched him in college, you know that the skill set and what he's doing for the Chiefs is completely different than the way he was used in college. So if we're gonna use the Charlie Kolar math, then you can argue that there's a skill set that the Chiefs have completely shelved in favor of what they needed for their offense, and Rashee Rice can do everything. When the Chiefs drafted him, it was not based on the fact that he was an awesome yak guy and after the catch guy. It was because he was a contested catch boundary receiver that could do all the stuff. So if we're going to talk about Charlie Kolar being awesome at Iowa State, then I'm going to fucking talk about Rashee Rice being great at SMU as an outside X receiver, just doing big boy stuff.
Right. Well, so in this, if we eliminate if we go back, I was just seeing where Rashee Rice was or other players like that, but he's on a middling team, which it isn't a bad team, and he's got 2 good tight ends. He's got Christian McCaffrey and Brees, so he probably doesn't want to make any moves right now. So that's probably a moot sort of point. But you got to find somebody to tango with to be able to trade here. This guy's team's quarterback deficient with the daily 20 Ayuk. He's got Garrett Wilson and AJ Brown. That's an opportunity right there to me. Like you're not doing shit with JJ McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback right now. It doesn't matter what your team is. You throw Tyler Shuck his way. Now he might be feeling some type of way where you could go potentially figure out, what. And he said he tried for AJ Brown already, and this guy said no. But just throwing some other things out there, trying to find some partners. What do you think about?
Let the medicine take hold. If this team sucks real bad, AJ Brown's going to start burning a hole in his pocket.
Right. What do you think about? We just talked about Tootin on another team. Would there be like the problem is if he moves off of Tootin, that he's kind of counting on Tootin, right? I mean, I guess Pittman could slide in and be you get it's a pretty deep starting lineup.
Yeah, that's
and I think Helm can maybe. I think we like Helm a lot. He could potentially come in here. I think Godwin, some fun depth there. Any other general thoughts on this squad or trades before we wrap this one up?
If you are someone who subscribes to DJ Moore having a bounce back with Josh Allen, that's another name that I want to throw out there. With Conker's BFD, we don't have to get too crazy there and assume what those initials stand for, but DJ Moore, this guy's got Lamar Jackson, he's got Shedeur Sanders, he's got some old guys mixed with, well, really just one young guy in Travion Henderson. But if you believe in DJ Moore and a resurgence in Buffalo, that's another guy that could probably help you. That's not going to
not be expensive, right?
Yeah,
and that's not somebody that I want to trade Shuck for necessarily.
No, but I mean, look,
right?
I want to keep those quarterbacks because if I have those quarterbacks, that means nobody else can have them,
right?
And if I give one of them up, I want to get a premium.
Right. It goes back to what Doug was right. It goes back to what Doug was saying in the comments there. Is like it can't just be shop and shuck willy-nilly. It's you have to find the right partner to dance with that's going to give you the proper value on them that doesn't have it. So I'm with you there. Like you said, I think you gotta. I'm trying to find that. Here's Roma Dunze, but this would you trade Shuck for Rome?
I wouldn't. No.
Okay.
Just there's the reason being we know that Tyler Shuck is in an environment that favors him. We've seen Rome thrive in his environment, but week in, week out, I think this year it's a much better bet that you're going to be happy with Shuck on more Sundays than you would with Rome. And so if I'm trading for Rome and I end up on the short end of the stick, now this is a little bit different because it's what, 2 flexes and three receivers, 3 flexes and 3 receivers. So this is probably start 12, start 11.
Let's see.
Just, I mean, I could look up myself. Oh, one of my earbuds went out, so that's why it sounds weird. I was trying to figure out what was
6, 7, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah. So start 11. Start 11. I could get a little bit more. I could be a little bit more into trading Shuck for Rome. I would try to do that for Darnold,
though. Dougie said get back a second, which I'd be fully in support of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
also, if you weren't listening earlier, if you're listening right now, Rashid Shaheed propaganda is about to get real aggressive from Chev GPT. So you might want to look at something to do there with something to do there because you already got Darnold.
Yeah, like this guy's a rebuilder, and Conker's BFD, little Conker's Bad Fur Day, little Nintendo 64 game there. Good game. It was a good game. This guy's Yoshi's Kart Racers. He's got Brian Thomas, Marv, Quentin Johnston, Matthew Golden, right? Like I know you, Chev, and I both like Quentin Johnston this year, but like I'm not like he's a team that could potentially be interested in getting Shuck, but there's nothing here that I want to give that up for at the moment, right?
Right.
So outside of Omarion Hampton, right?
Yeah, I
and obviously I don't think he's trading you that for that. So
no, I think you've got to have a little bit more poise there.
But this would be a team where it's like, all right, well, what do I got to go do to get Omarion Hampton from him?
Well,
Like, what do I got to give you? And he said he didn't want to go for 27 first, but if I give you Shuck and, you know, Tootin and, you know, just start throwing pieces together. And he said he didn't want to give up a 27. Well, what's team 11 look like?
It's I didn't see it. I didn't see a ton
Drake
of
May hurts. I mean, they're okay, but I could. It's probably most likely not going to be a top 4 pick. So I mean, it's probably a middle pick, which is still going to be good in 27. But you would still have a 27 pick. I don't know. I'm getting sweaty and tired here. So
yeah, I mean, like I said, I guess we'll be done with this for right now. But I just wanted to
throw it out there.
No. It's not sexy, and nobody ever gives him his proper respect. But maybe find a way to get involved with Chase Brown there. From the guy who said no to AJ Brown.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, maybe you know, starting the 3 wide receivers, you'd like a couple more killers. I mean, there's not a terrible amount of, you know, this Spyro's. I guess we all got, for the most part, some sort of video game reference. This guy's nobody's receiving core is like, oh my god, like they're just, you know, Amon-Ra and Justin Jefferson's pretty good.
People did a good job of paying attention to the format here.
Mm-hmm. Jamar Chase, Nico, and Zay is pretty solid.
That one was real sexy. Team. And I almost said, hey, try to trade Tyler Shuck for Zay. That's an automatic decline.
But he already did. He said he did, and didn't happen.
Yeah.
So Tez, hit us up. We'll help you navigate these waters. Appreciate you guys. Chev, you got anything else for the people out there?
No, man. My voice is almost gone. Yeah.
It's time to wrap up. We'll be back next Wednesday. Redraft is upon us. We're like I said, hit us up in the Discord. We're about to fire up another redraft slow mock. We're about to start firing up fast redraft mocks. We'll probably do some on the shows. Maybe we'll do some on the live shows. Keep the questions coming. Keep the energy, and you know, great stream tonight. Had over 100 people tapping in at one point. So appreciate all of you guys every week that come in here. Help us get to 1 million swipes before the season starts. Like I said, redraft is something that we are trying to get on the site with swipes to start building those crowdsource rankings for your pleasure. We're going to have ADP as fast as we can possibly have it for redraft to just kind of give you a backstop of an idea of kind of where we're at. But if you haven't done the 5-star review contest, there's a bunch of them. We're about to start giving a bunch of stuff away for the 5-star review contest here weekly. We've got a backlog of the July winners, so we'll announce all those, and then we'll have a bunch of people for August, and we'll probably just keep running it right on through September. So go ahead and sign up. We're going to give away 3 $7 memberships and a $15 membership each month. So keep signing up. That's been excellent. You guys have been great. The website signups for roster reviews for the $15 holler has been awesome. So make sure you do that. And of course, the $7 holler is the new $5 holler. And that gets you the extra episode, the rankings, the ADP, the Discord, and obviously all those other things do too. But also, I believe ad free on the $7. So, all right. Let's see here. Speckle said, yeah, power throw. We had BigCo. You just missed him. He's there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we'll catch you next time. Peace.